Welcome to the I Just Reddit channel. We have 2 stories for you. Story 2 deals with a man who has a friend who won't leave his sister alone. But before that, we have a story about a man who was forced to pay support for a child that wasn't his. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This story is titled, I, 37 male, have a legal child, 16 male, from my marriage to my ex who wants contact with me but I don't want to. How should I deal? I married young, at 20, and my ex got pregnant straight away with what I thought was my child. I was with my ex until the kid was just under a year old when we split. During the course of divorce, I fought for access but she threw a curveball that the child wasn't mine and she cheated just after we got married. We did a DNA test and it was proved correct, he wasn't my son. However, she couldn't track the real dad down and I have had to pay maintenance up until he turned 16. I didn't want to continue a relationship with a child that wasn't mine, so dropped access after that and didn't pursue a relationship either. I just couldn't do it, it hurt too much. Drink and drug problems no end and depression for a good few years. Over the years though, I stopped thinking about him and started to try and deal with it, therapy, AA and NA meetings, and I started to feel like things could be okay. I even met a lovely woman, 30 female, last year and have talked about starting a family one day. A couple of weeks ago, I was brought down to earth when the boy tracked my family down on social media and was asking questions, so got in touch with my mum. Apparently his mum has remarried and he doesn't have a relationship with her anymore and wants to talk to me, find out what happened. Apparently I'm still on his birth certificate and he still has my surname even though he was told I'm not his dad. I really don't want to, as in my eyes I'm done, I'm not obligated to pay any more money anymore and I'm certainly not looking to have a relationship with him. Edited to add, apparently he has a picture of me and him when he was a baby. I have no pictures anymore, I got rid of them all after I found he wasn't mine. It's bringing my old triggers back and I've been thinking about drink more than I have in years. It's causing arguments with my girlfriend, as she thinks I could at least meet him, just to talk, and says she can't believe I can be so nasty about someone I once loved. I think I referred to him as some other man's bastard in anger while talking to her. My mum even is being all soft about him, saying she might talk to him, which I really don't want her to. You see, here is the thing. No one, my girlfriend, family etc. know how hard it was. It's been a real struggle to get to where I am. While yes, I know it isn't his fault as such, what happened ruined me. And I don't think I have an obligation to him at all. He's not my kid and I haven't been his dad since he was a year old. Should I meet him just to shut my girlfriend and family up? Or do I stick to my guns and block him, even get a restraining order? Comment 1. Step 1. Go to a meeting, call a sponsor. They will be far better to talk to about your triggers than us. Step 2. Your girlfriend and family need to know that what they are doing is driving you back towards substance use and need to be told to back off if they have any respect for your sobriety. Step 3. It really does not sound like seeing this kid face to face is in your best interest right now, and that's okay, but is there anything that you would be comfortable doing for him? A letter, email maybe. Comment 2. Or do I stick to my guns and block him, even get a restraining order? I don't think you can get a restraining order under these circumstances unless his behavior turned to harassment. Honestly, the fact that that's even coming to mind for you suggests to me that you have in fact not processed this trauma at all. It sounds more buried than anything. Because if you had really worked through this and moved on from it, a simple conversation wouldn't be such a daunting situation for you. I think you should do 2 things. 1. If you have an existing relationship with a therapist, do some sessions with them ASAP. If you don't have one, get one. It sounds like your girlfriend, family isn't really providing the individual support you need right now, and it's important that you're able to get validation for your feelings and talk through this in a judgment-free environment. 2. Once you've gotten some stabilizing support in your life again, I would contact the kid through an impersonal medium like email. I would just explain the situation to him honestly but not unkindly. I see in other comments that you fear you're going to be awful to him. And to that, I say grow the frick up. This kid is innocent and your anger is misdirected. Be mad at your ex, not an innocent child. If you can't write it politely, pay your therapist to help you through that. Answer his questions so that he can come to some peace himself and you can put this to bed for once and for all. If you avoid him now, this isn't going to go away. You're just dragging out the inevitable and continuing to avoid processing this, as you have all these years. It's time for that to change. Comment 3. Interestingly, this is one person who is currently suffering from the circumstances your ex caused in the same way you did. He's holding a place in his heart for you and has been lied to, just as you did for him a long time ago. Try to see yourself and what you went through reflected in him, and get in touch with your empathy. I don't think you are obligated to be in touch with him, rehash this, or be involved, especially if it will be so painful and triggering for you. But I do think having a softer attitude towards him as a person might be a step towards healing for yourself. You two are both victims in this. Comment 4. Don't get a restraining order against a 16-year-old unless you really have to. Here's what I'd do: get his email. Give him a fake email. Tell him to email you his questions. Answer those questions. Tell him that because what happened was exceedingly painful, you will not be maintaining contact with him even though what happened is not his fault. Delete the fake email account. Move forward. Comment 5. First, I want you to realize that the kid is not at fault for simply existing. And I know he is the exact reminder of the dark times that you've been through, but you must know that he is in need of clarity. He needs confirmation of how he was treated this way by people around him. I suggest you to write a letter after calming yourself down, alone or with your GF beside you for support. Try to separate your feelings while writing the letter. Contents should be around 1. I'm not your real dad. 2. Your mom was unfaithful. 3. I was tricked into signing child support. 4. Even though you have my last name, I am not comfortable and interested in having a connection with you. 5. I went to a dark place after everything, and I'm now recovering. 6. I wrote a letter instead of communicating face to face is because I don't want to be reminded by my darkest time, and I hope you understand and stop reaching out to me again. Good luck. Ask someone you trust to give this letter to the kid, or leave it in a place where he can reach it without having any contact with you. This story is titled, My 21 male friend 23 male is flirting with my sister 19 female and making her uncomfortable. I have a friend that is making comments on my sister's posts and sending her messages that are making her uncomfortable. It's not anything inappropriate, she just doesn't like his advances. She wants me to tell him to stop, but I don't want to make things awkward between me and my friend. My gut says it'd mean more coming straight from her anyway, but I also feel like I have to be the caring older sibling and tell him to stop myself. Whose job is it to tell him to stop, and what should I do? Edit. Our families have been friends for a very long time. He has been friends with my sister for about as long as he's been friends with me, but we're closer in age, so I know him a little better. I could stop being friends with him, but our families will still see each other at church every week. Edit. 2 things. 1. She just told me this last night, and she hasn't said anything turning him down yet. 2. What I think I'm asking for is how to let someone down gently, because my sister and I aren't going to tell a family church friend of 15 years to frick off, or beat his ass. Him, his siblings, and the rest of his family are polite and respectful people, and my all siblings recognize that, and none of us want to ruin our friendship. I do appreciate the suggestions so far. I'm generally pretty conflict shy, but some of you are really helping me there. Comment 1. Hey, stop flirting with my sister, it's weird and making us both uncomfortable. It's that simple, my man. Comment 2. It's inappropriate the moment she isn't okay with it. You need to stand up for your sister against your friend. You are the reason she is dealing with him, and it won't sound better coming from her. He is doing things that are making her uncomfortable. Comment 3. If she replies, he will interpret that as her showing interest. Even if she tells him to frick off, he will think that because she's engaged in conversation, that he has a shot. Trust me, I've been there a million times. I don't know why she hasn't blocked him yet, to be honest. That would certainly send a clear message. But yes, you should talk to him really. An awkward conversation with your friend is worth it for your younger sister's comfort. You say your families have been friends for ages, he's known her since she was a kid and should be looking at her more as a sister. Maybe try and take that angle when you talk to him. I just try and keep it casual, so it doesn't sound too much like you are trying to scold him, even though you are, but more make him see how his behavior is inappropriate. Comment 4. Handle this as a friend. In his messages you said it's not rude. Just tell him that your sister is not interested, and his messages are making her feel uncomfortable. Remember, he is your friend, tell him with respect, and I promise you he will understand. Don't make a big deal out of it and he'll back off if he's a good guy. If he doesn't, end the friendship and tell him in no certain terms he is to leave your sister alone. Comment 5. I just say something. If your sister hasn't been clear with him yet either, it could help. Laughing it off and dismissing or ignoring it could give him the idea that she hasn't told me to stop, so it must be okay, you know. But maybe hearing it from both of you would get the message across. I've had friends who are just flirty by personality, and sometimes they don't even realize they're flirting, so we would have to be very clear and tell them to stop. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.